One, and lift off. Sonny Harris, how you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you doing, Jackson?
I'm doing well. I can't complain. It's Friday and it's about to be a holiday
It's
weekend.
Friday, a day off.
Yeah,
No market today.
I'm working right now, but
Well, I'm working too, but there's no market to trade.
oh,
Where's
it was
where's the
good.
fun?
Ah. Well, hey, glad to have you on here, Sonny
Thank you
Harris.
for
For
having me.
for the viewers that are listening to this right now, now some of the past shows that I've had, they were traders that I already know. I spoke to Sonny. This is really our second time talking. I called you on the phone, told you a little bit about the podcast, but now here we are, sitting face to face, right?
Face to face.
Quote
Where are
unquote.
you located?
I'm in Pennsylvania, about an hour outside of Philadelphia. How about you?
I'm in Southern California.
I read that on your website. I love
Yeah,
Southern
yeah,
California.
me too.
It's great. How long have you been there?
54 years.
Oh wow. Okay. Nice. Where'd you come from before you moved
East
there?
Tennessee. Grew up in Appalachia.
Okay. Cool. Cool. I just hiked the Appalachian Trail. Well, I didn't hike it.
Oh, wow.
I went on a little piece of it. I shouldn't
A
say I
small
hiked.
piece. You didn't do
Yeah.
the whole thing from Florida to
No,
Pennsylvania.
no. I just did a small sliver in Pennsylvania and that was about
Oh,
it.
how cool.
Yeah, it was really nice.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really cool actually. Just I don't want to get too far off subject. We will talk about trading, but the house that I stayed at, through the front yard, the trail ran through the front yard, so we'd have
Oh,
random people just walking through, and we'd say, "Hey, how you doing?"
hey, how
And
funny.
they were hiking along.
That's cool.
So for the viewers, listeners, whoever, I have a list of questions here. I did not send them Sunny beforehand, but we're gonna dive right into this. So,
Surprise questions.
yeah. What's your social security number? I'm just
Five? Oh no.
So I guess just to keep it easy, how did you get into trading? You've been trading. I read on your website, moneymentor.com. You've been trading since the 80s. How did you get
Yep.
into trading?
1981. Well, it was an accident. Several things have happened to me just serendipitously over the years, and this is one of them. I had a little software company, and we grew it from three of us to 105, and it was based on machine and device independent graphics software. So back then, it was unheard of. And of course, you can do everything that we did with Excel now for free. But back then, it was unheard of, and we were the only people offering graphics. At that time, everybody drew their charts by hand, and drew. They had uh, artists in their employ who would draw the charts. If you wanted bar charts or stock
Hmm.
market charts or pie charts, any of that, it had to be drawn by hand. So in 1980, I decided to sell my part of the company and retire.
Wow.
So I gave in 1981. I gave my money to money managers because I thought that was the thing to do, and I knew nothing about the stock market or investing. I'm a mathematician and a programmer, but I knew nothing about the economy.
Hmm.
They lost $75,000 in 3 weeks, and I said I can do that poorly on my own. So I started learning. I started teaching myself how to trade.
I
I
mean, you had all
read
that free
I
time, right?
read everything I could get my hands on. Wasn't much at the time, but I started with John Murphy's technical analysis of it was called the futures markets back then. Now it's technical analysis of the financial markets.
Hmm.
Probably the best book every trader should have. So you learn technical analysis easily and good charts and simple explanations.
Hmm.
And I just went from there.
Wow. Picked up a book and just went
Picked up a book and learned how to do it.
wow. That's pretty insane. That's crazy. Uh, so you're a programmer. Do you still dabble in that at all?
Oh yeah, every day. Every
I
day.
should introduce you to my partner Chuck.
Okay,
He's the
cool.
programmer of this. I don't know anything about code. I'm pretty bad. My internet goes out. I don't really know what to do. But
I'm a techno geek.
I'll introduce you to him. That I
Okay.
actually mentioned to him when we were talking about your indicators on the phone, which I still need to get hooked up with that. But
Yeah.
I brought it up to him and I was like, hey, do you want to test this out? And he was pretty intrigued. So I'll have to introduce you to.
That would be really nice of you to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you,
So
and I'd be happy to give you a copy of Sunny Bands to use for a while if you have TradeStation or multi-charts.
yep, yep. Actually, that that I do have a question on here about TradeStation. We work with them as well with our Auto Trader. Great guys. They're awesome down there.
Yeah, I've been using TradeStation since 1986.
Yeah, that's insane. That before
Yeah,
they were called TradeStation, right?
yeah, they were Omega Research then.
That's crazy. Um, I do have them written down. They're a little farther down here, but for my next question, question number two here, what was the biggest event that you've seen when trading? A lot of the traders that I talk to, it's pandemic because they're new. That's really the only event they've had.
Right.
They were like in eighth grade when 2008 happened. You know? But what was the biggest event that you've seen?
Crash of '87 for sure.
87. Okay.
Hmm.
What was that? Was that tech? That wasn't tech, right?
What?
That wasn't tech, right? That was tech is
No, we didn't
later
have
on.
tech yet.
Right, right.
I don't know what caused it. I just know that the stock market was rolling over, and I used to plot all my charts by hand on a piece of blue line graph paper.
Hmm.
So I'm plotting these charts along, and I'm thinking this doesn't look right. It's gone way up in an exponential curve, and now it's slowly working its way down. So we're going to have a crash. So I told my stockbroker, because I was investing in equities at the time.
Hmm.
So I said, get out of everything, sell it all. And he said, no, no, no. This is the biggest bull run in history. You don't know anything about the stock market. And I said, yeah, but my charts tell me. And he's like, charts mean nothing.
Your broker said that?
Well, okay. Let me show you my charts. So I had lunch with him and we talked about the charts. And he's like, nah, this is nothing. I said, it's mine. Sell it all. So that was in late September. And then on October the 19th, it's probably percentage wise, 1929 was probably the worst,
Mm,
but 87 was next.
wow. So
Yeah.
when you were trading back in the 80s, was it over the phone?
Yeah.
Oh, so you would have to call in to place your
You'd have
order
to
and say,
call
hey,
in, identify yourself, give your account number, tell what you wanted to trade, and then they would call it into the floor. You
and
know
it,
the hand signals that they used to use?
no, no.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, they have a whole series of sign language that they use to pass a trade from the phone to the edge of the floor to the center of the floor, back to the edge and back to you.
How quick was that? When you would
It
call in an
take a
order?
it take about 30 seconds.
Oh, wow. So that's actually like pretty quick.
It's not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
And the advantage of that was I could hear the commotion on the floor. So I could hear by whether it was lackluster or really excited, I could hear what was going on the floor.
Huh. So if
And
you
when I first started doing it, I would say, hi, this is Sunny Harris, account number such and such. Please buy 20, or whatever. And after the third time, they said, you don't have to say all that. And I said, why? And they said, because you're the only woman calling the floor.
Oh, so they knew it was you. Hey, Sonny, how's it going?
Yeah, exactly.
And I guess a real quick question too. That's not part of the list here, but when you wanted to do like a limit order, you would say, hey, a limit order at this price, or like
Hmm.
if you said, hey, put in a market order for obviously
Yeah,
not Tesla, but and
yeah,
they come back and then say, hey, you got filled at this price?
exactly.
Oh wow, okay,
Just exactly.
that's pretty cool. You can't
I
call
don't,
in now, right?
what?
You can't call in now, right, to place an
No,
order.
there's no floor.
There's no floor. Okay, okay,
It's all electronic.
yeah, yeah, okay.
I gave a seminar once in Chicago at the Mercantile Exchange, and I had put up 3x4 posters, and I called it "Get Off the Floor" because I knew that they were going to go electronic.
Hmm.
There was no question in my mind, and the people in charge of the CME had them all torn down. And they said, you can't say that. We're always going to have a floor. We're always going to have floor traders. You can't say that. 6 months later, they called me back and said, would you please give that seminar? And they paid me, this is a lot of money back then. They paid me 10 grand to do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Same people, the same people.
Yeah, exactly the same people.
You know, I bet because you were a developer, a software developer, and then got into trade, they almost go hand in hand because you can
Mhm.
see where the technology comes into play. And then once you really understand that and you understand the code, obviously it's not my world, so I'm speaking a little out of line here, but you kind of get a little bit of an edge of like, well, this is kind of where technology is going, and you can see a couple steps ahead. I
Mhm.
assume, right?
Yeah. One of the things that I think I see a couple of steps ahead right now is when you're watching a movie, say on television or a series or whatever,
Hmm.
when they do a commercial, you should be able to click on that commercial and find out more about the product or purchase it right there on your
Yep.
TV.
Yep. That's smart. You know what? I kind of see a little bit of that. I'm one of the few people that still watches TV and goes through the commercials, but I like to watch Jeopardy, so I get hit with the commercials. But
Yeah,
some of them will have a QR code and be like, "Hey,
yeah,
scan this code." So
I've
it's
seen a few of those.
getting close.
It
Yep.
is getting close.
What do you think
That
about?
and I want my refrigerator to write out my grocery list.
Oh yeah, that I think will actually be pretty soon. Probably in the next. It's probably they're probably working on it
They're
now.
working on it.
um, Another question that's not part of the list here, but what do you think about
Sure.
all that AI stuff that's going on? Do you think that's going to be a pretty big thing or not
I
yet?
think it probably is. Probably is. I've been using AI for many years. I use a program called Vantage Point. It's actually Vantage Point AI, and they predict where tomorrow's market is going. And I post that on my website every day. I, I show the Vantage Point prediction
Hmm.
so people can take a look and see where it's going tomorrow.
Is it pretty
And
accurate?
and they're like 84% accurate.
At moneymentor.com, right? You
Yeah,
posted there?
yeah.
You
If
heard
you
it, people.
scroll down, page down 1 or 2 pages, it's right there.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, that's pretty. I'll have to check out that AI. I use it, but I use it for like dumb things where I say, "Hey, make this sound more professional for me."
Right,
I'm
right.
not a good email writer.
Yeah. It's going to take a little bit longer for them to get really good at it because AI is only as good as the programmers behind it.
Right. Once it can pick itself up and roll by itself with no person, it's gonna be pretty scary, I think.
Yeah. Hmm.
So next question here is about Money Mentor. Now I saw on your website you were a sponsor of Money Mentor. Do you not own it, or is it
Oh,
your
I own
website
it. I own
personally?
it and I program it.
Oh, okay. Cool. Cool.
I do all my own programming on it.
Nice. How did you go about starting that? What made you want to
Well, I
say, okay,
started it in 1995. It was one of the first websites on the web.
really?
Yeah. There were 10,000 users of the web back then in 1995. Now we have what, 5 billion?
A lot.
Uh-huh. So it was just one of the early things, and I saw this and I thought, well, this is the next wave. I've got to get on there.
Very interesting. So there must have not been many websites, right? Like just
No,
a handful.
there were very few websites. It was pretty primitive.
That's the AOL days, right? The boom,
At,
boom, boom.
you got mail.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Um, wow, that's cool. So you're the sole owner of Money Mentor. That's all
Yeah,
you.
that's me.
Very cool. Very cool. Nice.
And everything you see on there is stuff that I use. So I've got a reference section, uh, re- yeah, reference, where everything that I need to use and need to have a quick handle on, I put it all in the Money Mentor.
Nice. Yeah, I did see you have a lot on there. You have your indicators. You have a lot of
Hmm.
books as well. You're
hmm
a writer. Very
Yeah.
cool.
And I have
Um,
my newsletter, Sunny Side of the Street.
love it. That's good. That's good. Can you tell me about your indicators? I know we spoke a little bit
Oh,
on the phone about it, but how do those work? I've never really messed around with indicators other than like moving averages and stuff like that that come already on platforms. But could you tell me a little bit about your indicators?
yeah. I figured out very early on. Now I've been trading for 42 years, so that's like year 40 ago. I figured out that moving averages don't work. If you trade a moving average crossover, you're going to ultimately end up losing money because 70% of the time the markets go sideways. 30% of the time they trend. So when they cross over and you catch the trend, then you can make some good money. But when you enter the whipsaw period, you lose all that you made in the trending part. So, and I tested every moving average available, and they all ultimately did the same thing. Some of them faster than others, and EMAs and SMAs and all of them. And I tested MACD. I'm a big researcher. So I tested all those. And then I thought, well, I'm a programmer. I'm a mathematician. I can think this through. So I created an average called my dynamic moving average, which recalculates its inputs with every tick of the market. So it looks like a moving average, but it has very little whipsaw. Yeah, in sideways market periods, the moving average goes flat and you just stay where you are.
Interesting. So
yeah. And then the sunny bands I built maybe a couple of years afterwards. And it's 1.2 and 2.0 average, two ranges away from the DMA.
Okay. I can't lie, a lot of it's going over my head, but I'm sure the traders that listen to this will understand that.
Yeah.
Yep. And those are for download, right on your website?
No. They're for sale, though.
What was that?
They're for sale.
Oh, okay, cool. Very cool.
Yeah, no, they're not free for download. It's proprietary and it's really special programming.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Now I do give free trials.
Okay.
So 7-day free trial for anybody that wants it.
And those work exclusively with TradeStation, or could they?
All of my indicators work with TradeStation and multi-charts.
Okay.
Sunny Bands works with Ninja as well. I don't have the other indicators converted to Ninja yet.
Okay, NinjaTrader, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. So moving on to the next question here. Now, since we did just pretty much come out of the pandemic, how has your trading strategy changed since before pandemic, say call it 2015, to what it currently is now? What did you have to change up? Did you have to change anything, or how did you go about that?
Didn't have to change a thing. Sunny Bands are short during down markets and long during up markets, so it didn't matter a bit. I have a client that made $1 million trading the 2021 up move and on a $30,000 account. And then when it started going down, she lost it all and more. Because she didn't know how to trade anything but a bull market. And if you continue trying to trade long trades in a bear market, you're in trouble. So now she has Sunny Bands.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I saw a lot of that actually because, like I said, I spoke with a ton of traders. A lot of them being new, and they started right during. Oh, did I look? Okay, cool. The video froze for a second, but I think that's just that recording thing. But a lot of these traders, they were like, "Hey, I'm making a bunch of money. It's 2021," and they really didn't know like that's not really how the market goes.
That's right. If you don't know how to trade a bear market, you don't know how to trade.
Right. It's like you kind of need the worst case scenario to make yourself better. You can't just be running downhill this whole time. Of course you're gonna be fast, but like, are you fast uphill too?
Yeah.
I don't know if that works the same.
Everybody's a genius in a bull market.
Right. And it definitely, it's funny too. And I think you're in this world too. Similar. I know you run live trading calls off of Zoom, but I'm sure you've heard of Discord, right? How people have those Discord communities. One thing my partner and I saw where we started the Auto Trader, we reached out to a lot of live trading communities, and there were so many in 2021 and 2020, and then now it's like there's not very many at all.
They're gone.
So back to work, Yeah. But yeah, it was a wild time. So also on your website, you've written a lot of books.
Yeah, I'm almost done with my 7th.
Right. That's with TradeStation essentially, right? Or
most of them are about TradeStation. Well, all but one of them are about TradeStation.
How did you get into writing? Did you just say like the same thing with the coding? You were just like, you know what, like I should just write a book too.
I had a monthly magazine called Trader's Catalog and Resource Guide. Published it for 8 years, and an editor from John Wiley and Sons called me and said, "Would you write a book for us?" And I said, "What about?" And she said, "Well, about how you trade." I said, "I trade. That's that. That's the end of that book." She said, "No, no, no." And I said, "I can't write. I don't know how to write. I'm not a writer. I'm a mathematician." She said, "Write me a table of contents," which I did. And she said, "Good, you've got a book deal." So I had to write the book to this table of contents. I was stuck from then on.
They tricked you, huh?
Yeah, they tricked me and got me into it, and now I love it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like that was a good thing though, because you know
It
6 books,
was.
like
It
that's
was a
pretty good.
very good thing. And that was Trading 101, How to Trade Like a Pro.
That was your first book.
That's my first book.
Very cool. And then the latest one, what was that called again?
Oh, the one that I'm not done with is called The Definitive Guide to TradeStation's Easy Language and OOEL Programming.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to go to press, I think, in about a week.
Okay, so you almost done, yeah.
Almost done.
Very cool.
It's been a year and 3 quarters.
Are those for purchase or for
Oh, yeah,
download?
Amazon.com.
Oh, very cool. Okay, and the links I assume are on moneymentor.com.
Oh, yes.
Nice, nice. Um, let's see here. So this is a cool question because I like TradeStation, I like them a lot. What made you choose TradeStation? What why you know, there's a bunch of
Uh,
brokers out there, but
it was one of the few available at the time.
oh, okay.
And there was CompuTrack, but it didn't do everything I wanted. I needed more programming ability. And TradeStation had a language they called Easy. It was Omega Research, and at the time, and they had a language called Easy Language, which actually is very easy to learn. And so I got it just to try it out and see if I liked it, and I've been there ever since.
Hmm. Very
They're
cool.
really the best.
They're awesome. You know what's cool about them too? I don't want to put other brokerages down, but working with them because we worked with another brokerage with our auto trader, and the customer support was like, so it was just all we had was email. So if anything, you know, we needed anything, we'd have to wait a couple days to get them to respond.
Hmm.
TradeStation, they were like, hey, here's our number, here's Michael's number as well if you need him, and it's just a quick phone call, like, hey, what's going on, Mike? How you doing, Jack? And then it's
Right,
whatever I need, and it's yeah,
right.
really good, really good.
The only lapse they've had in that was during the pandemic early years, and you couldn't get a hold of anybody.
You
It
know,
was all leave a message, we'll call you back. They were all gone.
I'm sure their phones were, you know,
Yeah,
yeah, ringing like
yeah.
crazy.
But now they're back and they're great.
Yeah, yeah. Have they always been in Florida? Do you know?
Yeah,
They've always been
Plantation, Florida.
cool, cool. So we're going on 23 minutes here, but is there anything that you're looking forward to? I mean, you do a lot. Is there
I
anything
do
new
a
that
lot.
you're working on other than
I
the
do a
book?
lot. Well, after I finish this book, I'm going to take 2 weeks off and build the website for the book.
Okay.
And after I do that, then I'm going to start another book. This one's called Grading the Gurus.
Okay. Are you gonna, is
We've
it
got
really,
we've got famous people with their systems that have been um, made known through their books or websites or things like that. So I've already interviewed Larry Williams and Joe Krutzinger. So they're both in the book, and we do a lengthy interview, and then I'm doing a system testing of their system to see if it works. So I'm testing. I think it's 51 symbols in 5 different time frames.
okay.
So it's a lot of work doing the testing, but do these things work or not? I just decided today I'm going to start the first chapter on moving average crossovers. No guru, just moving average crossovers to show whether they work or don't work.
So essentially you have the gurus, they have their strategy, and then you pretty much say like, hey, this is this guy, this is his strategy, we're gonna see if it works, and then if it doesn't work, you still keep that in the book?
Yeah, yeah, I might make some enemies.
Yeah, yeah. But hey, I mean that's honestly really good though, because I looked at things online, read about trading, followed people on YouTube. And sometimes I'm like, this is like, this isn't even right. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, come on, I'm
Yeah.
not, like,
Yeah.
they
So
just,
that's what the next book's about.
there's a lot of people out there that are like, hey, buy my course. And it's like, you don't, like, they don't make money from trading. They make money from selling their course. And it's like, come on.
I
Like,
had a guy call me a few months ago and he said, "Hi, I give mentoring lessons and I sell a course and I'd like to mentor with you." And I'm like, "Why?" He said, "Because I don't know how to trade. I can't make money." And he's selling these courses.
at least he was honest though.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's trying
Hmm.
to learn how
Hmm.
to trade. Oh man, that's rough. But
Yeah.
I
There's a
need to
lot
get
of that out there.
I need to get a hand on that book that you're writing though, because that sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Cool.
So for these viewers, can they contact you? Can they
Oh,
talk to you?
absolutely. Sunny at moneymentor.com, Sunny with a U at moneymentor.com. And my phone number is 760-908-3070. Give me a call.
Hey, awesome. Well, hey, Sonny, this was awesome. Thanks for being on. This is a new show, and I'm glad that you were able to be a part of it.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
making
much for
the
the
time.
invitation.
Of course, of course.